live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
And what was the name of this one? It was after something.
Did you not get the feeling that this episode was a
past perfect,
more of a hodgepodge?
Yes.
Of trying to pull together certain plot lines
what just
to
happened
set up
over the last 7 episodes. I agree. I saw that.
Right. Yeah. I because you know what?
Well, the description says it. It's like newcomers set up shop and Henry follows a clue, so he's still following up on what happened in the past. So past perfect makes sense.
Gotcha. But I don't know. And there was a great.
It was kind of a messy episode.
It was a very messy episode, and there was like a lingering humor to the whole thing. I mean,
so.
This was kind of, you know what? This was kind of the joke one.
I liked the couple. The couple was great.
The couple was
great.
They
were fantastic.
They were really good. and the great thing about it is that if you're going to be binging this lately, you're going to go from one that's ultra serious and just a mind bender, and then this is going to be the light follow up, the snack, the aperitif. May I say this is the aperitif. The post chocolate coffee.
Yes.
You know.
Well, this is a good lesson because we were actually trying to watch like the first couple episodes of series and deciding whether they're good or not.
All right. But
it's like with this series, I think both of us might have bailed on this one after 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I would have.
The fact that we powered through.
The fact that you powered through and got to the 5th one.
Right.
The fact that you powered through and got to the 5th one while I was still on the 3rd one.
Right.
And I was like, I would probably much rather just eat my own fingernails off than finish this sucker.
And then you were like up to 7. You're like, this is amazing.
Right. Oh, I got to tell you, I the 5th, I understood what you meant, and I thought, well, okay. And by the way, I have an awful lot of friends on Facebook who hate this.
Really?
Have not gotten very far. And,
oh my God.
And I'm trying to get them to drag them to the 5th, but the thing is, the 7th makes up for all of it.
It's hard when it's like almost an hour. It's like 49 minutes.
Well, here's the problem is I kept thinking to myself, I was thinking to myself, it was kind of sad that Sissy Spacek she was playing a doddering role that was insignificant, and that was bothering me until you realized on the 7th one what it was setting up for.
Yeah.
And then you go,
well,
oh my God!
The first 6 episodes were all set up for
basically for the 7th one, right? Exactly.
So I think this is where the show starts getting more interesting. I think. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have 10 episodes, so we only have like what? This
right.
is number 8, so we only have 2 more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next season.
Yeah, that's true. And I have to say that there was a couple things that were set up here.
Well, the couple was great, and I am a huge fan now of Jane Levy. Or Levy, I don't know how you pronounce her last name.
The blonde,
but she was great in this episode.
The little blonde, she was
blonde, and there was something she said with, but
she played a great character, the taxi driver, right?
She said, what was that she said when she was out by the ambulance, and she said she lost herself. I think that's going to be really important in future episodes.
Yeah.
So I think people are kind of losing themselves and doing things they would normally do in Castle Rock. Did you get that impression? Like that was an important line.
There was a line that I thought was really great when he says, "So how long have you been married?
Right.
13 years for me and 2 for her." I thought,
yeah. Oh no, I wasn't myself anymore.
Yeah.
So that's important. I think.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back later.
But
anyway.
also, I have to say that this episode had to be the longest single note on a musical instrument I think I have ever heard on a show. Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
You didn't catch it?
I guess I was so into was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, it was really tuned into it.
Well, the thing is the music just kind of like faded away to a single note just running really along the bottom. Ooh. And about half of that episode was just that one note. And it was really hard to notice. I mean, it's funny.
Wow.
And it was one of those things is when I did notice it.
You're like a dog. You like hear things that other people don't hear.
Well, when I did notice it, then
That's all you could hear?
that's all I could hear. Virtually all I could hear was, oh, crap.
But this was great. I like the mannequins and the couple. The couple was just great.
Well, you know what I liked in particular was when she starts to point out the authenticity of the axe.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God.
That's when I started liking her. I'm like,
yeah, right. Oh yeah,
awesome.
no, absolutely. It was like, oh well, there you go. That's it. Well,
and then how great was it?
It was a fire axe. That was it.
It wasn't the right fire.
Head. Yeah, it was the right axe.
But I like the fact that the guy had this thing happen with his wife. This thing happened.
Yeah.
And then he's forced to listen to something that reminds him of this thing.
Right.
And
right.
Just how perfect was that scene, though? Anyway, I don't want to go too far, but
and she says, just let it go.
Can we forget it never happened? Act like it never happened?
Can we act like it never happened?
Yes.
And then she
it
uses
came back
that
later.
line.
Yes, she uses it later.
The same line. That was great. Can we act like this should never happen?
So I don't know. Yeah, I think the next episode's gonna be better. I hope. How long was the attorney in the? he was in there for 3 days or 3 hours. It seemed like he was in there longer.
Yeah,
but it was only 3 hours.
It seemed to me. Well, see, here's the thing: is I don't think that episode 7. I don't think it was
hard to be vague.
None of it. Well, yeah, I was just going to say the thing is I don't think that episode 7 happened in a single time. I think it happened in multiple times. And that you see, there was nothing. There was nothing.
Episode
linear.
7 was definitely bouncing around.
Yeah, episode 7.
Well, this is bringing a lot of stuff together. Like a lot of people are starting to hear things that other people are starting to hear.
Right.
Things are starting to happen.
Even the kid and even the kid.
Right.
Kid.
The attorney's kid.
Yeah.
Or the kid. You're talking about the kid.
The kid.
The kid played by Bill Skarsgård, right?
No.
Or the kid.
The other kid.
The attorney's kid.
The attorney's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skarsgård. Yeah, I think that there's a problem with Skarsgård in this is that I would rather that he wouldn't speak.
He has that weird voice. Yeah.
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
But I like how he has limited lines, though.
Yes.
Oh, one thing that's really interesting about his character is that he seems to he'll have this creepy stance and staring at people,
creepy, right?
And then he'll just turn around and start walking, and then people follow him. I would be like, okay, see you later.
See ya.
I wouldn't even. Why would you follow him?
Why is it that everybody follows him?
But it happens twice in this episode where people just follow him.
You know what? If the creepiest human being in the world ever walked up to your front door, didn't say anything, and then turned around and just walked away, I would say,
bye.
Sayonara.
You wouldn't follow him.
Yeah.
Or even worse, following him to a scary looking house.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
So I think this is an awesome episode. I don't know. I thought it was. What would you rate this episode? Not as good as 7, obviously.
I gave 7 a 4.
Yeah.
I mean, right out, just absolutely by itself, I gave it a 4. I would give this a 3.5.
Yeah. I agree. Totally.
There was something light and kind of cheerful and happy about this one, which I have to say was kind of a break.
Yeah.
Kind of needed that little bit. A little dark.
That's how good shows are.
It was a little dark.
They build out their climax, and then all of a sudden they have to kind of start rebuilding something else.
All I have to say is it was a little dark up until that. This was because there are light coffees and there are dark coffees. Yeah. This is kind of a dark coffee.
This reminded me of did you ever watch American Horror Story? I like the first season a lot.
I haven't really seen any of.
But it had
American
kind of
Horror.
that feel. The first season, I bailed out on the circus one. I didn't finish that one, but there's one where they're in a monastery, or not a monastery. Yeah, it's a mental hospital, and it's run by nuns. It reminds me of that, so that's why I like this episode specifically, because it reminded me of American Horror Story.
It's funny. You brought up American Horror Story, and I was going to bring up a point that there is something about trying to, because there's so many shows that have tried to do a circus and do freaky things happening in a circus, but to me it never rings true because a circus is freaky things.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, oh, so you just went and filmed a circus.
Yeah.
It's like you can't say that freaky things happen in circus because as far as I'm concerned, the fact that you're in a circus kind of is just freaky things.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, one of my favorite movies is a really off-the-wall one called Freaks.
Yeah, Freaks. Yeah.
Right. That's an old one.
Yeah, it's an old one. But
people should look that movie up.
Yeah,
it's really
but you know, the thing is in a circus, if you walked into, you know, like a trailer and it was kitted out like an actual boardroom,
yeah,
you know, and everybody was sitting around in suits, that would be weird.
That would be weird. Yes.
See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm going? That would be weird. But if you go in there and it looks like they're in a circus, that's already pretty freaky, you know?
Right.
So I just don't believe in that in trying to abstract paint over an abstract painting. You know, there's just, oh, really? You're doing that again?
There's got to be dissonance in art.
Dissonance.
To make it interesting.
That's right. You know, it's balance.
Light and dark.
Balance does not equal symmetry.
Ooh.
It doesn't have to equal symmetry. Non-symmetrical things can be balanced.
Yeah.
In fact, the finest art.
Well, you're talking about space.
I mean,
so you have to have a balance of space.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't have to be
and
symmetrical.
That's right.
I get it. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Is like you can't turn around and of course things that look exactly the same on the left as on the right. Of course, those things, if they're symmetrical, they're going to be balanced. Mm-hmm. But that's easy.
It's boring.
That's boring, and that's very easy. The thing is the art of the world is trying to take two non-symmetrical things and balance them, and that's the trick. Mm-hmm. That's where, you know, the carpet meets the drapes.
Well, you can say that with actors or movies with characters that have more substance. They're always the ones that are good and bad at the same time.
Right, exactly. You know,
and there's a balance.
Like Garcia always said about, you know, about style. Style is the thing that you do wrong again and again and again and again until it's right.
There you go.
Dun, dun, dun!
This is Kurt Thomas along with Nick Strawn. Thank you for listening to the Dream Warrior Review. As always, please follow us and tell your friends about us too.